Welcome to the Stand-Up Diet with Amanda Arnold, Brady Smith.
What's up?
We are we're having a good time. We're gonna try some Mexican food today.
Yeah, we are.
We have an awesome guest today. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, we do. Before we get to that,
Okay.
can I do my dental giveaway?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we are still giving away a full, comprehensive dental rehabilitation. So if you are, whatever dental needs you might have, or if you know somebody who might have some dental needs, we want to help. But we do this in the form of a nomination. So go to our website, thestandupdiet.com, and you can contact us through that website and leave your nomination. You must nominate. You cannot nominate yourself, so you have to nominate somebody else.
And if you want to message us on Facebook or Instagram or something like.
Yeah, and I did have a question come in about like, what if I don't live locally to you? You know, the scale and scope of what we're giving away is into, you know, potentially $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 of dental work, depending on what the needs are. So that might still be appealing to someone if they are coming from
somewhere else,
LA or somewhere that's kind of in the general vicinity, a quick airplane ride. So please send us the nominations so we can scour through those.
The terrible part of me made me think of states that are more likely to have dental problems.
Mississippi. Mississippi is the one.
Is Mississippi the worst?
That's the worst one.
Kentucky came to mind. Sorry, Kentucky listeners.
Yeah, it might be a close second. I
Yeah.
don't know, but yeah. Sorry if you're from Mississippi.
Probably
Chances
a lot
are
of
you have
places
bad
eat
teeth.
sugar. Anyway.
Chances are you don't have the internet, I think.
No, they do. Everybody has the internet now. Do you know there's a lot of... All right, we're moving on. Follow us on Instagram.
Okay, go back to you, Amanda.
Anyway, back to me. Sorry. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, The Stand-Up Diet. Be our friend. Subscribe to our podcast wherever you can find podcasts.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into this.
Cool.
We have an amazing comic today. He is headlining Helium Comedy Club all weekend. He's done a bunch of cool stuff that we're going to talk about, so I'm not going to list off the laundry list yet. Brad Williams, thank you for coming.
Hey, thank you so much for having me to the house from one of Chris Rock's jokes. I'm sure you've heard that before.
Yeah.
But,
No, we haven't yet, but oh my God,
do you know the bit though?
Please,
Yeah,
remind
I don't
our
know the bit.
listeners.
Tell me the bit.
The bit that Chris Rock does where he goes, I live in he goes, this is what it's like to be black versus white in America. He goes, I'm one of the top 5 comedians working today. I live in a mansion. The white guy that lives in the mansion next to me is a dentist.
Oh my God.
I've never heard that. Was on his recent special?
That wasn't on Tambourine. That was on, I think, Nothing Sacred.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's
So,
You know,
funny.
there's 2 paths you can choose, Brad. You can go
this is
comedy,
the house from that joke.
or you can go dentistry.
What's
Either
funny-
way, you end up here.
No,
So-
you don't.
Sometimes you end up a comic that a
Yeah.
dentist wants to hang out with.
Okay.
Yeah.
that'd be me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm a comedian. I've had 2 Showtime specials. I have a Netflix special that comes out on October 30th, and I am not living in this house. My God, this is
I'm gonna take
just
that as a
one of the
compliment. Thank
spare
you.
rooms. I'm telling you,
No,
if
this is
you're one
a
of those
built
people,
room. It's a built soundproof booth.
Yeah, I
Sure.
built this is a soundproof room. This is my 3rd garage space. So
okay, yeah. If you if you're one of those people that's been robbing like Yasiel Puig and Rihanna,
We're starting strong.
Don't come and rob this house. This guy's got more than Yasiel.
Sure.
Whatever the hell, like,
Oh my
like
God.
I'm guessing you have something in your house that's like a meteorite from Florida or something like. You seem like one of the guys that would have like an odd collector's item like that. Like, oh,
Are you selling a meteorite from
This was
Florida?
this
I'm
was
actually in the market
Cam
for that.
Chancellor's mouthpiece from the Super Bowl. Like, I just
man.
imagine there's something
He's got
like
4
that.
kids, so he has to spend the money on that.
I find
But-
myself
Okay.
unprepared to answer these questions.
You got 4 kids.
I do collect. I have 4 kids. I collect
How many
kids.
nannies? 9,000 nannies. You employ
I'll
the
tell you what, I
entire
do not-
country of
I-
Guatemala.
I do not have nannies. I do not have
The whole
nannies.
country of Guatemala.
So
I had
that's
a-
a Hollywood thing.
I had
Okay.
a friend that her dad was, she said, I moved here from Guatemala. I was very rich in my country. I didn't make my own bed till I came to America. And I said, what's your dad do? She's like, he's kind of a dentist.
He's kind of a dentist.
I was like, what does that even mean?
Like a Guatemala dentist, you just have a pickaxe.
He said he made teeth.
That's it. Not exactly the same.
Just knock it out.
He makes teeth. I was like,
teeth.
What does that even mean?
Oh, that's a front for the mob.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a front for the Guatemalan mafia.
Carve out some teeth for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know.
I don't mean to roast you. It's more of a compliment. I wish people would roast me in that fashion.
I'm taking it as a compliment.
I'm jealous. Like that'd be like someone walking up to me like, I'm jealous of your big ass dick. You know, like it's the same thing. I'm just complimenting you.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
No, that's what I'm getting. And actually, we might be soliciting for a brother husband. It's like a sister wife. But
yeah.
But
I'm
a brother
in.
husband.
I'll leave my wife for you.
Perfect. Thank you. It is for me. It is for me. He hasn't even seen it.
I could be looking out on a lake here in the great state of Washington. I can say the state, right? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the address. Don't worry.
Thank you. And don't tell him my gate code after you've encouraged our listeners to rob me.
I felt douchey when I was like, well, I have to give you the gate code.
Yeah, no, just hit me up on social media. I'll give you guys the gate code, and then just give me 10% of the stuff you steal.
Perfect.
Just do that.
This is gonna go great.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love this.
No, this is crazy. No, and for those of you. So I'm on the road here in Portland, or this isn't Portland where we currently are, but I'm on the road in Portland this weekend, and I don't know you guys. I've never met you before, but you're a comic, and
yes,
you came up to me and you asked me about the Dennis podcast, and I said sure, I'll do it. And but then I was thinking about it on the car ride over here, like. I don't know you. You just said, "Hey, come do the podcast," and I said, "Yeah," because I've got a Saturday off, and what the hell else am I gonna do?
Sure.
And rather than I'll just do local guys podcast, I could have been going to a rape dungeon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I totally
would
thought
have
about that.
no idea. I just showed up, and I mean, and this is the kind of house where the person has everything, so they get really bored, so they start a rape dungeon. So
I'm trying to get him to build me one, but his wife's like, I don't know if we need to spend money on that right now.
If the podcast doesn't work out, who knows what's next?
Yeah.
But it's just we're gonna have to up the ante.
Let's go straight rape dungeon.
Rape dungeon. I mean, it could be a consensual dungeon.
Well, and that
could be like,
And this isn't the first time I've done this. I've gone to people's homes all over the country that just say they have a podcast, and I just show up at their house. I'm gonna get Dateline NBC'd soon.
That's irresponsible, Brad. You should not be doing that.
I should not.
Keep doing it, because it's all just dorks that are like, will you please hang out with us? We'll give you, we'll feed you, give you some money. Like,
yeah. Wait, you guys, what? No one gives me money. I'd like some. But yeah. It's very trusting, but every time I do one of these things, I always text my wife and I go, "Here's the address that I'm at."
That's what I do for dates.
Yeah, if I don't text you back in 2 hours, call the cops. So as long as this thing doesn't last 2 hours, you won't have cops showing up.
2 hours is a long time. I do an hour.
But at the same time, I feel like this is the kind of neighborhood where if the cops showed up,
they're on my side.
Yeah, exactly. You just walk out, give them a wave, give them a paper bag with something in it, and then they just walk away.
Skip, they're on my side.
Yeah, walk away.
That
he knows.
Terrifying.
He knows. Rape dungeon.
Rape dungeon.
He'll show up and I'll be like, "Hey, Ron, how's it going?"
Yeah, exactly.
Well, think
what you doing here?
Like,
how are the kids?
Hey, does your wife need that new kitchenette? I got you. Just walk away. Walk away, Ron.
Think how disappointed I was when I have this dentist that locates me, gives me all this dental work, and then you're like, "Oh, you have a beautiful wife and 4 kids. Oh, there must be a rape dungeon."
Yeah.
Brady's awesome.
So,
thank you.
So I have a question then. You're a dentist in a house with a big house with a wife and 4 kids. What makes you start the podcast? I'm gonna interview you.
Thank you. I'm bored and I don't want to start a rape dungeon.
Okay, that's one hobby. Some guys are really into fantasy football.
You planned the idea.
You're the podcast.
Yeah,
it's fun.
No, I like the idea. So truth be told, I did a couple open mics.
Mm-hmm.
He's also the lead guitar player in our band. You never bring that up.
I am in a band. Yeah, that's true.
What's the name of the band?
It's a cover band, so we're not like.
What's the name of the band?
The Playlist.
Okay.
So you can look us up on Facebook. We're on Facebook.
I love band names. One of my favorite jokes to do is like if it's just when people are talking and like they take a bite of a taco, they're like, "Oh man, that's a sloppy taco." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sloppy taco is playing Coachella next year."
Yes.
Like it's one of my favorite jokes to do. I do it all the time, and it makes me laugh every time.
When I worked at Yahoo, I did search marketing, and I would always misspell the word psychic and the word bukkake because we'd have to write Right.
bukkake a lot.
Yeah, we'd have to write that a lot because we did advertising for porn, and so I would always misspell those two words. I had them written on a little foam chair on my desk, and it just said "psychic bukkake," and I was like,
Great
"That's a great." That's because they always know you're coming.
I'm gonna text. There you go. That's the punchline. There it is.
And if it's bukkake and coming,
there it is.
And coming,
And
Waiting for
coming.
it.
Yeah,
And it came.
exactly.
They always come out for an encore. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna text my band right now and see if they like the name Rape Dungeon.
Yeah, go with Rape Dungeon.
I'm sure.
I'm sure it's a very timely name.
Yeah.
It's
People
very appropriate.
People are
for
forced
what
to come to the show.
Yeah, exactly. Against their will, they lock the doors. Listen to our band.
But to answer your question, just doing the podcast to have fun. And
Okay,
also, the dental giveaway is a big deal. I like doing a lot of charitable work for my
nice.
dentistry, and so
Have you met Jessa Reed?
it's
Who?
Jessa Reed. She was on This Is Not Happening. Meth P. Shouldn't call you out. We can edit this out too. But
Oh no, yes, I do.
yeah, we're doing implant. Well, I'm not. I was watching.
Got it.
He's giving her dental implants, and
That's awesome.
It's weird to see your friend be turned into doctor mode and also put shoulder weight into any procedure. Like you
Yeah,
were
actually
using a
don't.
wrench
Yeah.
on her
Yeah.
face and kind of leaning into
Yeah.
it. That was hardcore.
No, I realized. I'll tell you a little backstory. I realized about 2 years ago that I liked my job the most when I was doing charitable work.
Right.
So I'd find somebody, like for example, I found I go to Wendy's a lot, and I found this girl that always is at the Wendy's drive-through giving me my food. Right.
Yeah.
And so she visibly needed dental work. So I invited her to come in and get dental work done. We did it. It was awesome. It felt great. Felt fantastic. And so I really enjoyed that. So every couple months I find somebody. And
Now, can you tell when you look at a Hollywood celebrity? Do you go, yeah, veneers?
Yeah.
Like
we got a good eye for it.
Yeah.
There are shades of white that don't exist in nature.
Right.
And
some of
that's,
those are,
that's usually the key giveaway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
you were
veneers-
strongly suggesting I didn't go. I wanted to go
Yeah.
that white, and he said
No. Do a little bit of yellow. It's
Yeah.
like right now we're going to be talking about very wealthy problems.
Sure.
Where you talk about the tint of your veneers, and also because right
He
now
gave me mine.
because right now I'm getting fake grass done in my backyard, and you can now buy grass it's not just insanely green. It has a little bit of dead grass in there, like the dead grass color.
So you can relate to
that's
the man.
real. That's real.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
We paint stains onto ceramic on people's teeth who are like smokers when all their teeth are stained.
Right.
And you get these little stains in between the teeth. And
Yeah.
you can paint that in there.
Why would you?
I had a lady one time who had to do a full denture for her, and she wanted her lateral incisor to be solid gold
Okay.
because
She was a gangster.
When's
because
her rap album coming out?
she wanted people to think they weren't like, obviously if you had dentures you wouldn't have a gold teeth, so she wanted
okay.
people. Her mentality was, it's not fake. People won't think it's fake
Right.
because I put a gold tooth in there.
Now, when you do veneers,
We totally did it, too.
is that just a full mouth, or can you literally do one tooth?
You can do one, yeah, but you should do more.
Yeah. Well, it costs more, so there you go.
Right.
That's why you should do more.
Always be selling.
Yeah.
Right.
Always
Okay.
be upselling.
In most
Yeah.
people's situation, it's more do it in pairs, like 2, 4, 6, 8,
Okay.
10.
So someone's got one.
Because
just-
our brains are designed to see like
Yeah.
symmetry. And if you
Okay.
see asymmetry, people are gonna look at that. So if you have one
someone's
tooth that's a
got,
veneer and one's
one
natural.
ratchet tooth, then you just be like, all right, here's 3.
Yeah.
Here's 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That day I came in and I was like, "How was your day today?" And you're like, "I put a diamond in a lady's tooth."
I did.
And I was like, "Was she hot?" And you're like, no. It was
Wow,
he's
that
so
was
awkward.
that was like literally putting a diamond necklace on a pig. Like,
It was a diamond and a rough where I was,
Yeah,
where I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
go. With
Wow.
it.
She
The way
was,
that I jumped right in there.
She was an
Awesome.
exotic dancer, and her license plate said diamond. And
so she wants a diamond in her
I
tooth.
hope she doesn't listen to this.
Yeah.
But
It's
she
an
was
old
really
school
nice.
joke.
She was really nice, really sweet girl, and she had gone through a lot, and she brought her own diamonds.
What? A stripper went through a lot?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not like the
believe
strippers
it or
I
not.
know.
It's like an early '90s comedy center. I don't remember what comic it was. That's like comics are always named after, or strippers are always named after things they can't afford.
Yeah,
Who was that?
That's Lisa Lampanelli.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
They're
funny.
always named-
Porsche, Mercedes, health insurance.
Yeah, braces,
Yeah,
education.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
good. That's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
just tagging jokes with jokes. Love it.
I love it. It's fun.
Perfect. Perfect.
Do you want to do some rapid fire questions real quick?
Do you want to do that right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Brad, I got a question for you.
It's-
Fire away.
I got some
We'll play a
questions.
game.
Rapid. Let's do it quickly.
They haven't
Get
been
this
so
done.
They haven't been
this.
so rapid lately.
Look them up.
Okay,
All right.
Brad, for you, I have prepared an 8-question quiz.
Do it.
You will compete with Amanda, who does not know the
There's
questions.
not really answers. Anyway,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Oh, there's answers.
So should I answer them or wait for Amanda, or how does this work?
You're in competition with Amanda,
We're just
so
gonna
you
yell
want
them
to
out.
get your answer in first.
so
That's the idea.
Do we ding or do I just say the answer?
You just
say
blurt
the
it out,
answer.
man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love your analytical side there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like to
No,
know the
these are
rules.
important questions. I'm glad he's asking
He's
these.
like, I
Yeah.
want to win.
Yeah, I'm very
Too many of our
competitive.
guests haven't been concerned about the rules.
I'm
of
insanely
engagement.
competitive.
I am too.
Okay. So.
Okay, a mushroom and an olive get into a fight to the death. Who would win?
Nobody. They both die.
That's correct.
Okay.
Looking at my answer,
Look at that.
because they both suck.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I told him you didn't like mushrooms and all
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah,
I did.
that's very
Yeah, that
true.
was- that was
I don't
from
like
that.
them.
Okay, you are banished to an island prison for life. You can only have one food that magically appears twice a day. What is it?
Sushi.
Tacos.
Incorrect. The answer we're looking for is pizza. Also would have accepted calzones.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I totally
Which of the
understand
following
that.
foods can only be eaten in the morning? This is multiple choice.
Mm-hmm.
A, pancakes. B, oatmeal. C, bacon. D, eggs.
Eggs.
The answer is E. None of the above.
Incorrect. This question was inspired by when I saw someone eating oatmeal at night, and I thought, that's odd.
Yeah, I guess oatmeal. I wouldn't eat oatmeal at night.
And I thought they were a serial killer. So
they were technically a serial killer. I guess they
pancakes,
were
bacon, and eggs, that's
killing
fine.
Oh.
'Cause I like,
cereal.
Well done.
I'm so sorry.
Well done. Dad joke. Put that one on a
That's
popsicle
good. I
stick.
set that one up. That was like T-ball for
Well,
jokes.
because I dressed up like a serial killer for Halloween one year, and I would just
Got it.
had
Yeah,
like cereal
that's good.
boxes. Go
That's
ahead.
good. Okay, when are the only two acceptable times to drink root beer?
Oh, all day, every day.
Oh man, Brad, I'm
Root beer's
disappointed.
the
I'm
greatest.
disappointed in
Birthday?
you.
I'm a root
Are you
beer,
are you
I'm
a root beer?
connoisseur?
Oh man,
I love
no,
it.
sorry.
I also love root beer.
With root beer floats and with pizza, and that's it.
How dare you, sir?
I'm sorry, but
mean,
it's
you're
like
wrong, but
it's
okay.
it's like seeing a grown man drink a juice box. It's
Yeah.
a
Who doesn't-
child.
who
It's a
doesn't like
child's drink.
juice boxes?
Yeah, right.
I love
child's
juice
drink.
boxes. To be fair, a dwarf can drink a juice box, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
That does. Yeah, that might work for you. This might be the exception.
Yeah, exactly.
True. Okay. A first date orders nachos.
Mm-hmm.
This relationship will A, be fantastic, B, be terrible, or C, why'd you go somewhere with nachos on the menu?
I'm
Sorry,
gonna
but
go A.
I have to know something. Is it the man or the woman that orders the nachos? If
Right.
it's the man, it's gonna fail. If it's the woman, marriage.
Yeah, I agree with
Perfect.
them on that.
That
Actually,
is the perfect
I'm
answer.
on board with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic answer, Brad. That is correct. Okay, name a food that is a euphemism for a man's wiener.
Hot dogs.
All answers would be accepted,
Yeah,
actually.
pretty much.
So basically,
Kielbasa.
name a food
Cucumbers.
that is a euphemism for a girl's wiener.
Clams.
Pie.
Correct answer is this question makes me uncomfortable. That's our quiz.
All
All right,
right.
that's
That's
awesome. So, did you recently just get married?
A year ago. Yeah.
How long were you guys dating before you got married?
2 years.
And is she a comic?
No.
For our listeners?
Because I no, absolutely not.
Right?
I dated a comic one time, maybe like 7 years ago, and I was like, never again.
Yeah, I want to be the funny one.
I wouldn't, and that's the thing is, I wouldn't advise anyone to date a comic. We're not good
Right?
people.
We're not at all.
We're
I talk about
horrible
that on
people.
stage.
Don't do it. My God.
There's issues.
I mean, it's not as bad as dating a magician, but that's the worst.
It's-
if you date,
it's
if
on
you
that
date
spectrum, though.
Yeah, if you date a magician, someone should replace your Tic Tacs with birth control pills
There's a
because you're horrible.
there's a comic, Christine Levine, that was in Portland. She ended up moving to Arizona. She married a magician, and that was a few years ago. She posted yesterday that they're getting divorced.
I wonder why.
They
Because
were-
because he's a magician.
Yep,
They're
yep.
fucking horrible people.
I lived in a house
They're
with 5
scum.
comics and a magician.
If you said Kim Jong Un or a magician, I'd be like, well, at least Kim Jong Un's got money.
Yeah.
Magician.
There's like 3
It's
magicians
so
that have
fucking
money.
true.
And I hate it. I'm you know what? And here's the thing. I actually like going to magic shows, and like because I live in Los Angeles, where we have this place called the Magic Castle, which is like a training ground for magicians, and I love going. You get dressed up in a tux, and it's really good food and drinks and magic, and it's awesome. But I like the close up magic, something I hate more than anything is when the magician stands up there and then starts ranting, like going into that thing where he's like, the ancient Mayans believed that the soul could transfer from one. It's like, fuck you. Shut up.
No.
Just make the thing disappear.
Just make the thing disappear. Do the thing.
Just do it.
Dance.
Because he's like trying to and like as a professional talker, as someone who can tell a story really fucking well, it just makes me mad that someone else is getting paid to tell a story that horribly, and you're not doing an actual trick. You pulled a lever. You stuffed a thin girl into a tiny portion of a box. You hit a contraption. It's a fucking trick, you asshole. And stop having sex with these magicians. They're not actually making things disappear.
Public service announcement.
They read a magic book that said, this is how you do the trick. That's how they did it. They're not magical. They're not mysterious.
They went camping with another magician once, ate mushrooms, and they're like, I can do this.
Your dad's not a magician, is he?
No, I love my dad.
I'm just sensing some issues.
Yeah, no, I love my dad. And my dad's a lawyer, and I love my dad.
Not a magician. Okay.
Yeah. I hate magicians.
Oh my God, I love
It's just such a worthless profession.
Do you feel like when a magician sees you, they want to like recruit you for their act?
Yeah, because I'm tiny.
Is that it?
I can pop out of a hat.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that. I don't want.
I
my
can see.
God.
I can see that.
It's
pretty big
so
hat.
horrible. It's not even that I hate the magician. It really isn't. I hate people
Sounds like
that
you do a
like
little bit.
magicians. Like it's like you know what I mean?
I hate people
Like-
that like magicians.
Like
that are keeping them going.
Yes. I'm like, why are you feeding this habit? You know what I mean?
It's like him and Tweaker's money on the corner of the street.
Yeah, it's like okay. It's like when Charlie Sheen went on a stand-up comedy tour. I don't hate Charlie Sheen. He was trying to make a buck. I understand that. I hate anyone that bought a ticket to see Charlie Sheen do stand-up comedy. Did you think it'd be good?
No.
Did you think for 1 second that Charlie Sheen was gonna run out there and do the 7 words you can't say on TV, Carlin S? No. He had never done stand-up before, and all of a sudden he's like, well, I've done a lot of drugs and I've fucked hookers, so yeah, I can stand
See,
up
that's
winning.
the thing.
And that's
the
it.
thing.
It's an ego thing where they think I can do anything. Yeah, I'm talking about you now, Jeremy Piven. Jeremy Piven's
Oh, is he
doing
doing
stand-up.
stand-up?
He's
God.
touring. Who the
He's
fuck
touring?
buys a ticket to see the Ari Gold write say
didn't know
jokes that he's written, not professional writers? That
Oh
Jeremy
my God.
Piven, Me Too's Jeremy Piven. That's his credit.
Oh my God.
Fuck you.
But they book him. They're like, well, he's been
Because
on
he
things.
sells tickets. I don't
That's
blame
it.
the club.
Yeah.
I don't blame the
I
club.
don't either. Like, I
they
get
want to
it.
make money.
You know who I was
I
pleasantly
blame
surprised
anyone
by?
that buys a ticket.
I'm curious of your opinion since we're on this topic, and I was surprised.
Yep.
Was Brendan Schaub.
Yeah. Well, see, Brendan Schaub.
Because I worked with him at Helium for a weekend, and he was solid. The questions, he does a Q&A at the end of his set. The questions that people ask him.
Yep.
This one guy was like,
What's it like to be inside Ronda Rousey?
did you? Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I was like, Brendan, you answered that all the wrong way. I was like, you're this big, buff, mean guy. You should have been like, nah, man, I'm a gentleman. I let her do that to me. Like, and he was like, oh, that's how I will answer that going forward.
Yeah, make a joke. No, Brandon's great because here's the thing about Brandon is for those who don't know who he is, he was a former UFC fighter.
Wasn't he in the NFL too, or am I wrong? I feel like he played football.
He did play football. He was a tight end. We had him on my podcast, the About Last Night podcast, and he talked about it. But he's really good friends with best friends with Brian Callen. They have a podcast together called
Fighter and the Kid.
Fighter and the Kid. It's great. But see, Brandon was one. I keep calling him Brandon. Brennan.
Yep. I did that all week.
Yeah, he was one of these guys where he would be hanging out around comics, and the comics told him, "Dude, you got to try this. Like, you have to try this." Like, the comics told him, "What the hell are you doing telling these hilarious stories out here?" and he started. he started by just doing the live podcast. He didn't start doing stand-up.
Yeah.
He started doing live podcast. Then he started doing
when Joe started hanging out.
Yeah, and then he would start like talking before the live podcast, and then just slowly developed into an act. And it's an act.
It is
an
act.
And he works hard. He goes out a lot.
I love his brother.
He tries it out, and you'll see him get booked at the Comedy Store, trying material out.
Yeah.
So he's actually doing it. He's not one of these guys who just thinks he's God's gift to humanity, where he just walks out on stage and goes, "It will be awesome." Why? What effort have you put into it? None. But I am awesome in everything I do.
Look at me.
Not.
Just look at me.
No.
Lay your eyes upon me, and I am funny.
Lay upon me. I had no hair, and then I decided I'm going to have hair, so now I have hair. Jeremy Piven.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh, I hope Jeremy
Ouch.
Piven's listening.
I
He's
also
not,
hope Jeremy
that's
Piven's
okay.
listening. That's
Right?
fantastic.
That's all
I
right.
know he's not.
Didn't you kind of got your start that way with
Yeah.
Carlos Mencia?
Yeah.
You kind of
Let's talk
befriended.
about your start.
You had
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what's on Wikipedia about you: is that
I have
he
a Wikipedia
plucked
page?
you out of an audience,
Oh, he did, yeah.
and you
That's
had
a real story.
and before you had ever been tried comedy or anything
Nope,
like that.
Never. I was 19 years old, and I was in the audience of one of his shows, and he was on stage making midget jokes. Half the audience was laughing, and the audience that was sitting by me, that was like, like they were not laughing. And he said, "Why aren't you guys laughing? These are funny jokes." He goes, "What, is one of them here?" And I raised my creepy little hand in the air, and I was like, "What's up?" And he called me up on stage. He did not even hesitate. He called me up on stage, started asking me questions. I was not trying to be funny. I answered the questions honestly, and my answers got laughs. I remember he asked me what I did for a living. And at the time, I was 19 years old, kid from Orange County. I'm working at Disneyland. And then the audience starts laughing, and I turn to the audience and go, "Fuck you, I was not one of the 7. And they laughed, and then I told them my actual job at Disneyland, which is even better. I was a bodyguard for the characters. So,
Oh my God, I love it so much.
I'd walk around with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and if a 5-year-old steps on the line, I'd be like, "What's up, bitch?" Throw a mean for him.
I didn't know those
To be able to like
those
grill
cats
a
had
kid and get away with it.
bodyguards.
That'd be great.
Oh yeah, they do. They're called character hosts. That's
But
their
you're
official name for 'em.
incognito as a bodyguard.
No, we are plain sight.
Uniformed?
We are there. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
To this day, I worked at Disneyland for a few years. To this day, there's something called the Disney point. You're not allowed to point with one finger because, like in one culture, that's offensive. I forget which one. So you have to point with 2 fingers like that. Like you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna finger bang you."
It reminds me of like, hey,
Yeah. Or you do the whole hand. And to this day, if you ask me like, "Hey, is there a Chipotle around here?" I'm like, "Yeah, right down there." And I'll point with the 2
It's a
fingers.
2-finger point.
Yep.
I'd be like, why are you doing that?
Yeah. It's weird, but I do it.
Suggestive.
Yeah, and I told that on stage, and it got laughs, and that was it. That was the shot of heroin into the arm, where I'm just like, well, now I'm
Felt
doing
so good, huh?
now I'm doing this, and dropped out of college. I was majoring in communications, so don't worry, we didn't like lose a cancer cure.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like when Dr. Ken stopped being a doctor to do stand-up comedy and acting.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like,
And so good at it. That's
so
the
good.
thing.
That's the thing that pisses
Can
me off.
you not be good
Yeah.
at everything?
Fucking Asians.
Yeah.
They're just
true.
overachievers and everything. He's a great doctor. He was a pediatrician. He's helping kids, and he's like, now I'm just gonna be one of the best comedic actors
No,
ever.
I'm just gonna heal souls with my thoughts.
Yeah,
That's right.
he's awesome.
Yeah,
He's
he is
amazing.
awesome. He's one of my favorites, actually.
Have you had a chance to spend time with him? Is he?
Yeah.
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 I want. He's. I got a cough. I do social media for Helium, and that is one of the constant messages we get on Helium
Yeah.
is get him,
Get
bring him
Dr.
in.
Ken.
Get Dr. Ken.
Yeah, he's starting to do stand up a little more now. He's doing shows up around LA, and he's really good at it. He's insanely charismatic, and people don't realize that for a long time before he got knocked up, he was doing stand up. And being a doctor at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
stand up was the hobby, and he would go on tour. He was on a tour called, I think, the original Kims of Comedy, where it was him and Bobby Lee and Steve Byrne and someone else who I'm not remembering, and I feel horrible.
I dated
maybe
a guy
Kevin
named
Shea.
Kim for 4 years that was in a cake tribute band called the Fashion Nuggets. So
A cake tribute
yeah,
band.
I knew you would enjoy that.
Wow,
You're
we
welcome.
found one level below magician.
Yep, there you go. There you go.
Cake
You're
tribute
welcome.
band.
Yeah.
Not even
yep.
There's nothing wrong with tribute bands. I've seen Hell's Bells, which is the all-female
Sure.
AC/DC cover
Yep,
band.
they're good.
Sure.
They're awesome. They rock. But Out of all the bands,
Keep going.
Cake.
The relationship didn't go the distance. Like all that.
Yeah. How far down the line do you have to go?
I bought him a Vibra Slap.
Oh my God.
I've grown a lot.
How many bands did they try out before they got to Cake? They're like, well, we were a Dishwalla cover band for 2 weeks.
You just play Counting Blue Cars.
Everybody's covering Nickelback now.
Then,
so
12
then
times.
we tried, being a Harvey Danger cover band, and that lasted one gig.
And then
we got to Cake. Wow.
Well, if you can't sing,
I like Cake. I mean, I like their music, but I would never be a tribute band for any band because I feel like that.
Well, especially a band that's still gigging. They're
Sure,
still working.
Sure.
Be
They're down in
a
Sacramento.
tribute band for Van Halen.
Yeah.
They're
fine.
not doing it.
Wouldn't jump. Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that. Because it's like it's like when people ask me like if I want to go eat at a Subway, and I'm like, oh, so all the other sandwich shops are gone?
Yeah, exactly. We're just gonna. This is
So
where we're gonna go to.
This is all we have. And don't get me wrong. If I'm on a road trip and literally it's the gas station
or Subway,
it's Mama's Diner and out in the middle of Omaha, Nebraska, and they say try the fish. I'm like, well, nope, going to Subway.
Me too.
But
yeah.
so it's like you're in a Cake tribute band. It's like, oh, so Cake just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, like you're gonna make it worse.
Yeah. It's like now all these remakes, when they remake a movie, it's like, no, the original still exists. It's out there. You can still watch that. That's a good movie. You should just watch that.
It's such a great analogy.
And then not watch the new movie because we didn't need it.
Because we still have it. It still exists.
It's not like it's gone. It like, remember back in the day when like the Disney movie Sleeping Beauty would be on sale and they'd be like, only one more month, and then it goes back into the vault.
Yeah.
And then you could not see it unless you had the movie on tape.
Because you didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
Right. But now everything's out there.
You can have
you
it all.
get everything. Every
can have it
movie. You
all.
can have it right now on demand. So why are we remaking these fucking movies?
I agree. 100%.
I don't understand it whatsoever.
You said Subway. I always think about how when you eat Subway, you smell like Subway for like 6 hours after that.
Oh, it does
It's that
stick on
weird
you.
bologna
It
smell.
does stick on you.
Yeah, it's that bologna and that turkey that's 12% ham.
Turkey stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know that I was a sandwich artist at one point in my life?
I did not know
I did.
that.
It was one of my first jobs.
And he saved his money, and that's what he bought
right.
this house with.
That's right. Worked really hard.
Did you
Subway
ever meet
money.
Jared?
Saved my Subway stamps.
Oh,
that was back in the day.
Jared molested him. This is the settlement money that bought this house.
This is your question. Yes, I did meet
Jared
Holy
touching me
Jared
money.
Fogel money.
Shit,
Yeah.
we made a good decision bringing
Yeah.
him here today.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? You know what I figured out working there?
What's that?
So I take the frozen. So the cookies are delicious. They're
They're
even
the-
more delicious if you take their frozen little cookie bites. You put them in the
really?
microwave for like 20 seconds, and you just eat their dough balls. Oh, so
Or you
good.
could just make cookies. Like, isn't that what you're doing?
When
You're like,
you're
no,
six-
you take the little cookie dough balls. and
when
then
you're
and then-
16, you might as well ask me to build a house.
And then you put them on a
I
pan.
don't know how to build. I
That's
don't know how to
true.
build cookies.
That's true. No, that is the one thing that I will say. Subway, they're good on the cookies.
They are.
Cookies are
yeah,
great.
we get you.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So what does your wife do? What's she do?
My wife is a behavioral therapist. Yeah.
You're a comic that's
I'm a
married to a behavioral therapist.
Yep.
She's like, reel it in.
Yeah. No, like.
Or she's like, let it out. Go ahead.
yeah.
but like children, like teenagers. Is that's what that?
Kids to young adults.
Yeah.
Behavioral therapists. They specifically work with kids that have autism.
Oh,
So
okay.
she
Oh,
goes.
cool.
So she goes
That's
to
really
the
neat.
home and she does programs with them. And yeah. So she does God's work, and I do the work that pays the mortgage.
There you go. Exactly. She's like,
'cause-
this feels good to do. You
Yeah,
go
yeah.
pour yourself on a
Yes,
stage for a
she
while.
does wonderful, amazing work that the world needs and is changing lives. And I tell dick jokes on a stage, but I get paid more.
Oh, it's
Capitalism.
It's kind of like. I wish that our friendship was that way, but
Yeah.
it's not.
Well,
It's not that way.
It's that weird thing where it's like, yes, teachers should be paid more, behavioral therapists should be paid more, but we live in a capitalistic society. And
How'd you
they're
guys
not.
meet?
Oh, you ready for a crazy story?
I love
Okay,
those.
here we go. So you've heard of apps like Tinder and Bumble and stuff like that, right?
Oh yes.
Have you heard
I
of
I have heard of them.
Yes.
I never needed to use those services.
No, you were married already.
I was married already.
Or you had this fucking house and you just you just sent photos of it out to people.
Put signs on my yard.
Yeah.
Says now
This could
now
be
hiring
yours.
woman.
Suck it.
It sucks because his wife's hot too.
yeah.
It's like he didn't end up like.
Shocking. Really? No. I would not believe his wife is hot. I think you're pulling my leg on this one.
Thank you.
Anyway, so you've heard of apps like that. Now, have you heard of the app called Field?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, let me describe to you what Field is, because that's how I met my wife, on the app called Field. Field is an app specifically designed for people trying to have threesomes.
Oh, you're trying to field a prospect.
Something. Well, it used to be
Play
called
the field.
Yes, it used to be called Thrinder, and then Tinder sued them.
Thrinder.
So, yeah, it used to be called Thrinder. Now it's called Field. But I was on there. I matched with 2 women. One of them decided not to show up on the date for whatever reason, and probably actually saw my picture and was like, "Ooh, no." And then I went out with just the other girl by herself. Got along with her great. 2 years after that, I proposed, because when you find a hot Asian that loves 3-ways, you lock that shit down.
I mean, yeah, you do.
That is pretty solid. The stock is not rising any higher.
No, it's not.
That's
It's she your
Bitcoin.
first marriage.
Sell.
A Bitcoin reference. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Bitcoin reference.
Uh-oh. Amanda got me excited because I thought we were going to talk some Bitcoin maybe.
It just came up.
We don't have to.
Yeah.
All I
It's
know
boring.
is that
It's not a good time to talk about Bitcoin right now.
all I know is that if I took my stand-up comedy public in terms of being like a publicly traded company, and then all of a sudden put Brad Williams comedy blockchain on the end of it, my stock would shoot through the roof.
That's true.
It's
That
ridiculous.
is true.
So yeah, that's how we met, and on a threesome app.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on the dating apps. I've had a lot of weird things happen on them.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I've read some studies that say like threesomes are like one of the worst things you can do in a relationship.
Well, here's the thing: is
They were
that
in
I
a
wouldn't know.
relationship,
I'm a
yeah.
very conservative
Sure,
Mormon dentist.
Sure.
But I have read that there are some studies that suggest that
Yeah.
that is.
And it was published in the Mormon Monthly.
I don't think it
I'll
was.
send you to hell.
I don't think that was.
Sorry, purgatory. I like to be religion specific. Here's it can be. It absolutely can be if you don't have a discussion with your partner beforehand on exactly what the
Why you're
rules
doing it,
are
boundaries.
and what you're going to do, what you are allowed to do. And if you continue to remain in contact with the person you had a 3-way with, that's probably not going to be good, because you've already been to that level with that person. So it's kind of easy to slip into that again. And in your mind, you're like, well, she was with me when I had sex with her, so I could just have sex with her without her. No, you can't.
The rules become so
yes, but if there
hard
is
to navigate.
Yeah.
But if there are
Hooray for monogamy.
clear-cut rules, then it can be a wonderful thing that.
Or you're on a
that-
cruise.
Yes, that enhances a relationship.
Cruise.
Pretty much one of our rules is that the woman has to be in our lives and then gone. Like,
That would be my rule.
She can't be just hanging out the next day. She's
No.
not. We're not making breakfast together.
Yeah.
Like, gone. Whenever we have done that thing, which is not all the time, we're not crazy with it, but because
Well, you're in your 30s, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you're like by your 30s, you're like, okay, this is fun once in a while, but you know.
Yeah, and once you're in your 30s, like, I was a road comic in my 20s
There's not
with
much-
headliner money. Like, I had my wild side. Like,
Yeah.
I'm good. And I think it's valuable to have a wild side so you're not tempted to wonder what that is like.
I agree.
Or just have something really strong like religion to repress it.
Here we go. I think that you don't always want to be invited to the party. You don't always want to go to the party, but it's nice to be invited.
Yeah.
Like, so having the option in your relationship to,
Yes.
like, if this is something we want to do, it's something I can suggest. And probably I have friends that are poly, and they actually, once they decide that that's what they're going to do, they do it less.
Yes.
It's like just having that mental, like, okay, we can
Knowing that option is there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I would even say that some guys will go outside their marriage and they'll have an affair, and then they'll realize once they have the affair, oh, this isn't as good as my wife. I get to have that with my wife in the room.
Yeah.
So like I get to experience someone else and be like, oh, this isn't as good as the relationship I have with my wife, and then my wife's there.
But why would you? But then you have your like.
No, I
like.
Why would I? I'm watching your brain break. It's fun.
Right.
It's
fun.
I
don't. It's like, well, if your wife's so much better, then why even have this little side thing going? Like, if that's
that's like saying,
that doesn't seem.
You have a chocolate sundae. Why add whipped cream? Because it just makes
the whipped cream makes it better.
Exactly. And then, but
okay.
But
so you were saying it does make it better.
It's not the centerpiece.
But it does make it better.
Yes, it's fun.
It's an enhancement.
It's a lot of fun, but then you wouldn't just have the whipped cream without the sundae.
I would imagine that women get tired of that first in the relationship.
The 3-ways?
The polyamorous things. I would imagine women get sick of that first.
No, because it's way easier for women to get laid than men, I believe. And most of my friends have had situations where the guys are not, especially when they start getting into their mid and late 30s.
Yeah.
The guys aren't having as good a luck anymore.
Yeah.
But the women are
they can just keep it going.
Yeah, keep going.
Now, and that's when certain relationships, like depending on
fail.
depending on what your boundaries are and what your rules are, that's when it can switch as the man gets older and finds less and less partners outside the relationship, and the woman's still just like, no,
this is good.
This is great. And then she hits her late 30s, which is the woman's sexual peak. So
39.
then she's just like, she's killing it.
Yep.
And then you got the 37-year-old dude or the 42-year-old dude. It's like, I'm not having any fun anymore.
I'm not having fun. This game's stupid. I'm going home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
Street lights are on. I'm out.
Either way, it seems like at some point one of those members of that organization is going to say,
yeah,
I don't want to do this anymore.
No,
unless
absolutely.
you're crazy old, like there are like crazy old hippies that live in the desert. That
sure,
it's
like,
unsustainable.
Make it
is what
work,
I think.
You know?
It's unsustainable as a.
I think I've met people that have done it, but I think they're the exceptions and not the rule.
Yeah, exactly.
I've met people who've done it too.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone who's done it and it worked out really well for them.
Yeah.
It didn't cause hurt feelings or jealousy or things
this old hippie couple that lived by us when I was a kid, and they confused the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why do all these people live in the house? And my mom's like, well, they're all together. And my parents didn't censor anything.
Yeah.
And there was like 6 people, and they all just, they were all
so just
quad
like
thruple or whatever you call
wow.
it. Like,
That's
a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
Everybody has emotions and feelings
like
and needs.
bands can't stay together.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't. I can't imagine 6 people living in a house and you're all dating.
Yeah,
No. That and I think as long as I think my wife and myself have a great system for it, where I've met couples that engage in similar activities, but it seems like their relationship is based solely on having sex with other people. Like that's their goal. It's what they talk about all the time. It's what they're constantly striving for.
Right.
My wife and I truly, truly do love each other very much, and I'm very happy with just being with her. But this is something we do every now and then when the opportunity arises that just goes, hey, that was fun. You know what I mean?
Sure. No, I get what you're. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But then you stop it the day after, and then you're not doing it again for a while. Like it's
stick to that.
You know, it's like
mantra.
going to Vegas. When you go to Vegas, you want to go for 3 days, and that's it. And then you want to go home.
Sure.
If you're in Vegas for 5 days, you want to kill yourself.
And it doesn't hurt that your wife is just stunning. I didn't look at pictures of her before.
Oh.
Wow, she's beautiful.
Yeah. I got a hot Asian wife.
Yeah.
And you don't even have that dentist money yet?
No.
Oh, dang.
No.
You must got some skills.
No, I'm doing all right. I mean, doggy style standing up.
Just get it done.
That's
get it done.
Perfect.
That's what I'll tell you.
That was
Perfect.
awesome.
Want to eat food?
Yeah, let's do food. He ate before he came.
Oh, did you already
Sorry.
eat?
But hold on, I'll grab stuff.
I was hungry.
Do you want to try some tacos?
That's the thing is I'll always try tacos.
Why don't you tell them, Brady, about real quick who this is from?
Where is my little...
Before we eat tacos,
yeah.
My friend, he's a great comic. His name is Forrest Shaw. We talked a little bit about religion. Forrest opens up for Jim Jeffries on the road. He's a writer on the show. Forrest started the taco religion. And
I'm down.
And the only rules of the taco religion is that once a week you eat a taco, and then once a week you give a taco to someone else.
Oh, I love that religion.
And I think that's
beautiful.
pretty much the golden rule.
Do they proselyte and send people with name tags to your door? And say, I have a taco for you.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about the way
if you have a few minutes, I'd like to talk to you about tacos.
I don't know what that is. No, I think that's wonderful.
That's chili relleno.
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
So,
chili rellenos are great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So this restaurant is called Nuestra Mesa, and they are in Camas, Washington.
Okay.
And they've been open since about 2010.
Okay.
The owners' names are Todd and Tanya.
I'll have one taco.
And they, let's see, I believe the story was Todd had a little restaurant in a little Mexican town called Sayulita.
Okay.
I wonder where that is.
I don't know where it is. I think it's in Mexico. And then that's where he met Tanya. And they kind of just both had like a passion for food and making food and creating food and staying as authentic as they can to Mexican cuisine. And so they have a...
Because I'm from Southern California, so I have high standards for Mexican food.
Yeah.
Because when I'm out in certain states, everyone's like, hey, you got to go to this Mexican place that we have here. I'm like, no, I'm good.
How do you feel about our food in Portland? We have so many food carts. Have you gotten... I know you've been here quite a few times.
Yeah. I love it. Portland's got great food, great spots. I will say this, and I'm trying to make this in a bit for my act, but I haven't figured it out yet. I'm against the term foodie.
I don't like it either.
Because my whole thing is like, okay, so what does that mean? And they go, oh, it means I really love food. I'm like,
everybody really loves food.
Everybody loves food. It's like, I'm a breather. I really love breathing air. You know,
it's like when people say I don't love water. I don't like it. I don't like water. And I'm like, how do you not like water?
You can't live
without water.
You can't live. So no, that's not an acceptable answer.
That is so funny. Yeah.
So I can say that you can say that you enjoy going to restaurants and trying new things.
Yeah.
And experimenting with foods that
you
aren't
enjoy the dining
necessarily
experience.
Traditional. But I just don't like foodie. It's like I love food.
I hate being told that my palate's unrefined because I don't even know what that means. And a foodie is what the person who says that to me. Like if I say I can't tell the difference between whatever two
solid.
things. You like it?
That's a solid taco.
Mm-hmm.
No, they are fantastic, and I've been there a few times, and they're very good. And it's in downtown Camas in Washington, about 15 minutes away from Portland. Is a very cute, kind of old-fashioned style downtown. Very small little town, but it's really cute and trendy. And it's that's where Nuestra Mesa is located, and they are fantastic.
So
That's good. Nice salt balance on the pork.
Yeah, and
I eat a lot of tacos when I use words like salt balance.
Yeah,
You must be a
they're
foodie.
homemade tortillas. They're
You sound like a
handmade.
foodie.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely handmade tortillas.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I have a little tiny place. Oh, we should do that place. There's a little Mexican restaurant that just opened at the end of my street, and I've lived in Portland my whole life, and it has been probably this little. I mean, the restaurant is as big as this room. It's like how big is this room?
Tiny, 18 feet by 11.
Yeah, that's probably how big this Mexican restaurant is. And he was born and raised in Portland as well, so we got to talking, and he makes his own tortillas, and their food's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
really once you start getting in, we are living in such an amazing time for food, for beer, for everything because
whiskey.
now, now like it in the I think it was the 60s where like TV dinners started becoming really 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 popular and just food on the go and stuff like that and everything was just started becoming mass produced and everything.
I call it like the Omatic era.
Yeah. And just trying to figure out how to feed people that moved out into the suburbs. Now we've kind of figured it out, and now people are like starting up their own places and fresh ingredients and having access to things. And
we're more aware of what's in stuff, I think, now.
Urban
more than
farming, like we have a lot of that stuff going on. That's just that's just making it. And the first time you have food that's really just like, no, this came from my friend's garden. Like I remember the first time I tried a strawberry that came from my friend's garden, just handed it to me. I had the strawberry. I was like, oh, that's what it's supposed to taste like.
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
Not strawberry compote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Fresh eggs.
so we're really
Fresh eggs makes a big difference.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Bert Kreischer and Joe Rogan both have chickens in their backyard.
That's awesome.
So
I would love to have chickens.
They got eggs, and it's great. It's truly revolution, and I hope that we keep it going by we stop fucking and having so many kids, because we're gonna get to the point where we can't feed everybody.
We're gonna run out of food.
We're gonna run out of food.
I love that Bert Kreischer works on his weight as much as I do. When I worked with him at the, I worked with him at Helium, and he was right in the middle of one of his, excuse me,
One of his diets.
I swallowed the Mexican food wrong. With Tom, I love that he's constantly fighting it, and he only looks slightly different. Like Tom Segura has gotten thin, and I'm not quite sold on thin Tom Segura yet. I'm not sure. It's kind of like when your dad shaved his beard when you were a kid, and it was devastating. You're like, I don't want to see.
Or like thin Jonah Hill.
Are you guys watching? Oh, have you watched any of it yet, Brady?
I watched the first episode. I had
Maniac?
a really hard time with it.
The Maniac.
I had a really hard time with it. Yeah, I just watched the first episode.
The
haven't seen
first two are weird. I told you that.
Yeah, okay, I'll muscle through it.
But I don't like thin Jonah Hill.
I don't either. He looks
Which
sickly.
I get it.
But you want him to be happy.
You're probably happier. You're
But
probably
you also want to be fat.
healthier.
I get it,
You're
I get
probably
it.
all things that are better for
Yeah.
you, and that's great for you. But as someone who's not directly living inside of your body, I like you fat.
I do too.
Yeah.
He looks sickly in that. What did you think of Maniac?
It was interesting. So I watched the complete first episode, and it's very interesting. I will watch more. I am used to my Below Deck and Before the 90 Days, so I like fast-paced reality show.
And this
drama.
is very cerebral. This is slow and it's
It
all
is cerebral, and it makes me think, and I got to slow that down sometimes.
Do you watch shows? You got shows you like, Brad?
Of course.
Like, what's your theme?
It's also the TV revolution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. It's the best time ever.
When you're like, okay, I don't have to write, I don't have to go out and do any shows today or podcasts.
Yes. Right now, I like a lot of shows that help me learn shit. Because
Me too.
I don't watch the news.
Yeah. Explained is really
I don't
good
think
right
you
now.
learn a whole lot from the
Love
news
Explained.
anyways.
Explained. Quick, nice, fast episodes. You guys watching that?
Love
I've not watched that.
20-minute episodes.
Yeah, it's
I
on.
like that. I like short episodes.
Yeah, it's 20-minute episodes on Netflix. They just pick one topic and they go, all right, let's give you everything that we can tell you in 20 minutes about one
that's
topic.
cool.
And then you can learn about it and just be armed with a little bit of knowledge. And they're not really partisan. They're not like, all right, we're going to talk to you about like racial equality. Like,
What do they talk about? Like heated topics, like abortion and gun control or stuff like that?
They talked about the wage gap for women. They talked about the exclamation point.
Yeah. So
Where does that come from?
Yeah.
No,
so they'll have
the
like
history of it.
Where does the exclamation?
yeah. So they'll have like one episode on like gerrymandering,
Okay.
and then they'll have another episode
on Bitcoin.
on Bitcoin. And
I think I did see the episode on Bitcoin
just trying to explain it to people.
because I watch things that are Bitcoin associated.
So, yeah, that was great. Right now, I'm watching Ozark.
Everybody keeps
Better
telling me to
Call
watch
Saul.
I
it.
watched season 1. Season 1's awesome.
Yeah. It's so many good shows.
There's a lot of good
There's
shows out
too
there.
many good shows right
There is.
now.
Okay, here's something. What's your good show that you don't feel like anybody is watching?
Maniac is one of them, but The Sinner is amazing. The Sinner, the writing is so impeccable. First season came out, Jessica Biel, and I was like, Jessica Biel in a serious role. There's no way. Phenomenal.
Great.
And it's not a who done it. It's a why done it.
Ah, those are fun.
Yeah, and the second season is
You know who done it.
Jessica Biel's gone,
Okay.
and they kind of do like an American Horror Story, and they just start a whole new episode.
It's great.
But it's the same detective, and he's got a
okay.
lot of problems.
Awesome.
I like him.
All
Which
right.
one are you watching?
The show that I watch that I don't feel enough people are watching is Detroiters.
It's so good.
It's so
Oh, I do want to
It's
watch
so
that.
good.
It's so good.
I just got turned on to that by kind of a fan.
Sam Richardson, and Tim,
Advertising guys.
they're awesome.
Yeah,
It-
that
it's,
does
it's
look
so
good.
funny, and it takes a lot in a comedy to get me to laugh. I'm so jaded
Yeah,
because I watch so much comedy,
but
and
it's genuinely funny.
it's genuinely funny. The relationships are great.
Their chemistry is phenomenal.
Yeah, you can't. It's.
Yeah.
I wish more people would watch that show. Yeah. So what's yours?
Mine
What's
would
your show
be
that-
Below Deck.
Below Deck. Now, what's
So
Below
it's
Deck?
on Bravo. So
Okay.
it's produced by like Andy Cohen.
Okay.
And it's you follow a
Gay cruise.
It's these charters on these like super yachts.
Okay.
And it's a reality show that follows the crew. So there's stewardesses and deckhands, and there's a captain, and then there's charter guests that pay obscene amounts of dental money. We're talking about like Bitcoin money, in its heyday, and they pay tons of money, and they come on. The charter guests are always like rude, terrible, demanding,
right?
And then there's drama, but that's the different type of show because
it's about the crew.
And you follow the crew, yeah.
Because you're probably going to buy one of these boats at some point, and you want to be like, what are these people up to?
That's beyond my money, my friend.
He's going to put 4 kids through college.
That is not dental. That's beyond dental money, man.
Oh, okay.
That's like media mogul money. That's more.
It's something else.
Yeah, it's something else.
I get it.
Buy me a tiger poppy money.
It's so funny how there's always one more level. Like just when you think like, you know what, I'm fucking killing it, then you go, oh no, I'm not.
Yeah,
like in comparison.
Else.
Yeah.
I met Bob Saget at Helium, and he's worth $100 million.
Yep.
And
that's a lot.
He
goes on cruises.
Yeah,
he charters yachts for sure.
And Bob was just so like.
So nice.
Yeah, just like
so down to earth. So
he was
chill.
just like the guy that lives next door that'd prefer that you didn't like throw shit on his lawn.
Yeah. He writes me back every time I write him an email, quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's all about correspondence. Wow. He was really good about when I had to reach out to him about pictures and stuff. Got right back to me. But yeah, you're worth $100 million. It's probably the wealthiest person I met in person. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was front and center of Beyonce when I was like 22. That's some pretty good money. She wasn't that rich yet, though.
Yeah. It's crazy. But as you get older and as you find out what's truly important to you, not to get too philosophical.
No, please.
But you do find out that yes, large homes are wonderful. Having money can certainly solve some problems, but it won't solve every problem. And
connections, man.
And yes, the best times I've ever had in my life are in a green room talking shit with comedians.
100%. I agree.
There's a scene in the movie Comedian where that's the documentary that Jerry Seinfeld made, where
with Orny Adams.
Yes, for a charity show in the green room of the Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach, California. You have in the same room Jerry Seinfeld, Jay Leno, Gary Shandling, Chris Rock, and Ray Romano, all in the same green room.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're just talking. And when I watched that movie again recently, and when I saw that scene, it brought a huge smile to my face because I go, the combined net worth in that room is like $3 billion. And if
all they want to be is in that green room.
Yes. And if you asked them, where do you want to be in this world?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to finish your sentence, but it's true. It gives me
but
goosebumps.
it's true.
Like nothing.
They just want to be hanging out, talking shit with other comics.
Yeah.
So like, I saw that, and it truly made me realize like, oh, that's what happiness is. Yes. Work hard so you can have a little money. So if
you have to struggle.
So if something happens, you know that your family, or people that you love and care about are taken care of. Yes, absolutely do that. But more importantly, have good people in your life and have relationships that you like. Don't have people in your life that when their name pops up on your caller ID, you go,
yeah, I hate that.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And
I got patients that come to my office, and that's what I do.
Yeah. And even worse,
it's true,
don't
though.
be that person. Don't be the person where when your name pops up on someone's caller ID, they go,
what do they want? Or I totally get that.
You know what? And to test it out, just call a random person sometime at a time when they should be home. When they're not at work, or see if they answer.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
If they answer, okay, cool. You're part of you're not a dick.
Yeah, you're not a part of the problem.
Yeah, but if you call 3 friends on like a Sunday or a Tuesday night, and where they should be home and none of them are answering, look at your life.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Look at what you're doing.
You're not fun.
Why aren't people answering your call?
It depends on like what you talk about too. When people talk, because I have people in my life that I know, like when they call, like it's like they just call to talk about themselves.
Right.
And that's one of the main reasons I don't answer the phone sometimes in those types of situations, because I know he just wants to talk about himself, and I'm just I'll call him back later when I have some time to hear that. Good friends. Yeah. But still, that's what it all. Well, and that's what I don't want to be.
Exactly. But then I know you also have people in your life that when they call, no matter what you are doing,
Sure.
you will answer that phone.
Sure.
And it's because you know that it's going to be a pleasurable conversation.
Yeah.
You know that they're not going to yell at you. They're not going to, like you say, talk about themselves. That it's not that it's not going to be some drama, or they're not going to be asking you for something. It's just going to be good and fun. And when those people call, and be that person, be that person that when you call someone that they will answer, and they have no hesitation whatsoever.
It's nice when you meet new people too, and like I think I saw a picture of you on the internet.
Those probably exist. Yes.
Are you friends with Carmen Morales?
Yeah.
So
she's a great comic. She works the door at the Comedy Store. And,
she stayed at my house a couple times coming through Portland. So I don't know her that well, but
she opens for me sometimes.
It's weird how you kind of have like all these little connections, and
now she's living in Maria Bamford's backyard.
That's so funny. Yeah,
Weird.
she's
right.
Yeah, she slept on my couch a couple times. She was opening for Grant Lyon, and
so you're in the same company as Maria Bamford.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm just on the same level, 100%.
Yep.
This has been really fun.
Oh, I got one more thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So you were on your mom's house with
Your Mom's House podcast with Tom
Segura
Segura and Christina P.
Oh, here Brady goes.
Christina P. Also on
She's
the
amazing.
Degenerates comedy special, which I am also a part of.
Yeah.
That comes out on Netflix October 30th.
So did you know that
No,
Tom
where's
Segura
my
does like a dental update on most of his podcasts?
Brady keeps ringing this.
Do you remember when you talked about dentistry with him?
Yeah.
Do you know?
It bugs the shit out of Brady.
Do you know that he's not a dentist?
I'm aware.
That he doesn't have a license to practice?
Correct.
I just want to make sure you know that.
No, I'm completely aware.
I'm not like building a case against him, but I just want to know, like, do you feel like you've been like physically harmed by following his advice?
I didn't follow his advice.
I'm not like building a board complaint up against him. I'm just saying,
asked me what was up with my mouth.
without a license to do that, that's all I'm saying.
Which is fine. I didn't.
You maybe.
If he gave me any advice about what I should be doing, I wouldn't have taken it. You
Good.
know,
Good.
Brady was
'cause
like,
he's not a
did you know
dentist."
that? Did you know Tom Segura does like a dental moment? And I was like, what are you talking about?
I'm just saying, Tom, maybe stay in your lane. Maybe just do your thing.
Be funny.
And if you're going to have a dentist, talk dental talk, maybe just bring a dentist on. I'm just saying. And make sure that the advice you're giving is sound and not causing harm to the community. Make sure he's not a nuisance.
on the same line, did you know Peter Dinklage not really a dwarf?
What?
No, of course he is. I just thought that would cause
so
some
I do have-
controversy.
Now, I knew Elijah Wood wasn't really a little
not
person.
really a little
Oh,
person.
I know what I was gonna bring up.
Fake LP.
Yeah.
So last night I went to a haunted house
Great.
out in Gresham, and it's a full contact terror experience, is what they call it.
That sounds not good.
Yeah.
They grab your face
Nope.
and like
I would advise you not to go if I would have known about it ahead of time.
Nope.
I had got bit in the ankle last night.
Oh, cool. That means you're contagious.
Right.
You're patient
it
zero.
was terrifying. And I don't get scared. I don't get scared. This was like a guy picked me up, and I know that I look smaller than I am. I'm pretty sturdy. It was the first time I'd been picked up in a really long time, and he just literally picked me up and put me in a box. And
A cardboard box or a wooden box, like a coffin?
it was a coffin, like a wood box.
That's
and then
terrifying.
Why would you go to this place?
Because I was on
It's
a
like,
podcast.
oh my God.
thrill, man.
We went to this place. It's called Punch You in the Face. You go there, they
kinda what
punch
I
you
was
in the
thinking.
face.
That's
And
kinda-
it's not fun. Really?
This was they were pretty respectful. My friend has a podcast called Laughing in the Dark, and she is tiny and scared and weak.
Laughing. Keyword there.
Laughing in the
Laughing.
dark. Yeah,
not
no,
running
this
and
was
screaming in
cardio at some
terror.
points. But it was funny. They found out I was a comic at the end, and they all asked me. They were like, "Oh, do you know Brad Williams is there this weekend?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's doing my podcast tomorrow." Not
Flex.
really. Yeah.
Good.
But the only person they didn't know who you were was the dwarf in the group. He was like, "Who are you guys?" And he was being 100%.
That's awesome.
I died. I was
That's
I
awesome.
was like, I thought you guys
Like,
all knew
really?
each other.
You don't know who Brad Williams is? There's 4 dwarves in show business. One just
It's-
died.
And then I was like, no, it's not the one from Jackass. It's
Yeah.
I am.
There's 4 of us, and you don't know.
Oh my God, I pulled up my
That's
phone.
hilarious.
I was like, he's like, oh, he looks familiar. And I'm like, I think you're just being a dick right now.
I know dwarf real estate agents. Because they're little people.
I felt like he was like fronting.
He's got to
who
be
the fuck
fucking
is
with
that?
you.
He's the one that bit me in the ankle. He was dressed up
makes
like.
sense.
Oh, that doesn't go good for our stereotypes.
No, it didn't. He was
That's
dressed
not
up like a killer clown and
That's
like
funny.
crawled up at me. It was. So
Do you want to know? Do you want to know what Mormons do for fun?
Oh,
We play card games and play Mafia
and.
and
the sad part is I really like Mafia.
yeah. See?
Wait, the live action game or the computer game?
No, like where you have like roles and stuff.
Yeah.
We have like roles and I'm like the secret
play that.
angel.
This is the shirt I got at the end, by the way.
Oh, this.
Sluts for Jesus.
Yes. Where am I ever gonna? I gotta leave this
Church.
somewhere. I gotta
I
give
don't
it to
know.
a homeless person and be like, here.
You could just get rid of it,
Hey,
probably.
That's what I'm wondering.
You
How
gave
do I
that. If you gave that to a female homeless person and said, "Stand on the side of the road," you will make more money than you've ever made in your entire life. 'Cause
You
they
might get the
would.
attention you don't want from that too.
Sure.
Maybe. Just saying.
You know,
Yeah, it was
but
terrible.
you'll
Anyway.
get attention.
That
Wow.
was my free shirt. It was just a weird night. That's all I was trying to.
If it was just slut or just Jesus, you could still get bad attention. But when you
Yeah.
combine the two,
Sluts for Jesus.
it's
Yeah.
like you just asking for everyone to like.
And Sluts for Jesus is just Mary Magdalene. she was the original slut
Brady's
for
like, "How are we
Jesus.
gonna edit
She was the original. Oh yeah, that's a religion joke. I actually know a little bit about it.
I'll tell you what. You're dealing with a Mormon. We're pretty good at taking jokes, man. We
You know what you are. And
as a people,
Yeah.
I think we're probably one of the best religions at taking jokes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other religions that are worse than us at taking jokes.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, no, and I will say this. The Mormon religion, they don't like you make fun of them. They go, yeah, that's kind of us, and then they just move on.
that's right.
Nice people.
And they go and they raise their kids. And
That's right.
You know,
when you leave, I got four.
yeah.
I have four of my own little people.
Exactly, and I don't even make jokes about like the polygamy and stuff because I know that's a certain sect of Mormonism that's not exactly the.
It's not even Mormonism.
Can I
Yeah,
talk about
exactly.
what we
You
were
can talk
talking
about that. Yeah.
So Brady was so I didn't know he was Mormon for like the first month, and we're doing dentistry, and then comes up and
Why? He's rich, white, and nice. Of course he's Mormon.
I know I thought I was pretty.
Of course he's Mormon.
He's just charitable. Damn it.
So yeah, man, he's just a nice guy.
Yeah.
Sorry about
Anyway.
that.
And I haven't seen him drink caffeine yet.
Nope.
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do?
drinks-
Okay.
I have
He's
a Red Bull every day, man.
Oh, bad Mormon.
Monk.
That is not
Bad
a
Mormon.
misconception. of Mormonism.
Well, and just
This is
so,
what Mormons get in fights about.
Yeah, and just so I'm clear, because I like to be accurate
Yeah.
when I have knowledge about certain religions. A Mormon friend once told me that it's not that you're not allowed to drink caffeine. It's not like nowhere in the Bible or
Sure.
whatever Joseph Smith said does it say like thou shalt not
Right.
have caffeine. Like
Correct.
that's not. It's more of like, is it like a fear of addiction kind of thing where like you shouldn't be addicted to anything?
It's not even that. I'll tell you this: it's a misinterpretation of a lot of Mormons don't drink caffeine out of personal choice, but nowhere in the hierarchy of the religion has anyone come down and said you can't have caffeine. It's just been interpreted as addictive substances should be avoided, and so a lot of people have turned that into.
Oh, so, yes. So it's addiction.
So
then.
any addictive substance should be avoided. I think that's pretty reasonable. But caffeine itself, no, you can.
Got it.
In
Okay.
fact, in recent big Mormon news, BYU
Ooh,
campus,
Big Mormon news.
BYU campus, the soda machines at all their restaurants, the soda machines, the fountain drink machines, they all had caffeine-free Coke products, and they just changed it like a year or two ago to having caffeine included beverages. So it's like drama.
Oh,
but,
you guys are going to be hiking your
We have
skirts
wild
up to your
times,
knees
man.
in no time. This is going to be Pleasanton.
It's amazing what you get into when you don't have alcohol to fuel your activities.
Yeah.
You get real creative.
You get real creative and you have tons of fun.
How good are you at
then
Yahtzee?
you just go. Then you just go on Pornhub.
My top score in Yahtzee is over 500. I have a couple over 500 games. If you don't know what that means, then you don't know Yahtzee.
Then you,
So
I mean, you don't know Yahtzee.
a 500 score game means you got 3 Yahtzees in a game.
I don't know how to play it.
See, I'm not even gonna make fun of that because
adorable.
Like, that sounds amazing.
It is
I would
amazing.
love to be that into Yahtzee.
I'll tell you this, actually, funny story. When my wife and I got married, we played a lot of Yahtzee, and
so Mormon,
I
I
said
love
in this moment of like an epiphany, I was like, honey, we should keep an ongoing tally of our Yahtzee scores for our entire marriage. And she shot me down. She's like, that's stupid.
It's just like,
But I was like, in my head, I was like, this is the most amazing. Like, so we at any time we could be like, I'm winning at Yahtzee and you're winning at Yahtzee. And
yeah.
Your wife's a good woman.
Yeah, she
is. That's true.
She is.
That's definitely true.
Good woman.
She stopped me from keeping it. Well, I still keep the score.
The
I'm
dun
winning.
dun dun noise you made. I was a vet tech for 5 years. And we're putting this dog to sleep. Sorry, listeners. Switching this around.
Hey,
and
it's
things
the worst
die.
thing you can do. Yeah, exactly.
And there's a couple, and they're crying, and they got their kid. He's about 4.
Sure.
And the doctor administers a shot, and he's like, okay, he's gone. And the little kid, without skipping a beat, goes, dun, dun, dun. And have you ever wanted to laugh as a comic? Want to laugh so bad that you have to open your mouth and look at the ceiling? You're like,
That is so
I don't know what
good.
to do. You can't be like,
'Cause that
can I
is-
hang out with your kid?
Because that
Like,
is literally the worst moment
Oh,
of someone's life,
that
having to
kid
do that,
won.
and then he comes with a joke. There was one time, my sister, when she was like 7 years old, her pet bird died, and she loved this bird. And when we found the bird, it was just stiff. It was just rigor mortis had kicked in, and I literally just walked up to her. This is how I told her. This is why I'm an asshole. I just walked up to her. I laid on my back, put both legs in the air, and went, "Katie, bird."
Oh, man.
so
My parents
funny.
still tell that story. They're like, "You're a dick."
That's so funny.
I'm like, "Yeah, but it was funny."
So you brought up
was
your
funny.
wife being Asian. I just wanted to ask, what kind of what brand?
Chinese.
And does she cook? Back to food for me. Dude, haven't, because Chinese food's my favorite Asian food.
It's really good.
It's
Is it? But is it?
You know how we talked about earlier about like I had a strawberry. I was like, that's what it's supposed to taste like.
Yeah.
When she has made noodles, like made
Handmade noodles.
noodles, and I'm like, oh, that's what noodles are supposed to taste like.
Yep. You love me.
The whole thing, a way to his man's heart is through his stomach.
Anybody's.
True, totally.
Yeah. Anybody's heart.
Absolutely true. Oh my God. She made homemade dumplings the other day. Oh my God. It's just like, yeah.
That's a nice perk.
It's an amazing perk, and
That's a nice perk.
And that's my favorite. When I had a woman on the road not too long ago say like, "Oh, I really wish you weren't married, because then you and I would yada yada yada," and I just flat out went, "No, we wouldn't."
No.
And she goes,
it doesn't end
and-
nice though to say
yeah.
that.
Be like, go make some noodles.
Yeah,
And we'll see.
Yeah, and
How's your
she's-
noodle game?
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, I don't know. I think I think I get your wife a run for it." I'm like, "No, you couldn't."
Yeah.
I have a hot Asian wife that likes 3-ways and is an amazing chef and is a behavioral therapist. So she's a kid whisperer.
No.
You're like, no.
Fuck you.
Where are you gonna?
I win. Okay, that you're not gonna get better.
Dude, I respect comics that can, turn down that attention so much. Like
Yeah.
Bert Kreischer, I hands down, I've talked about this on one of the other shows, but I have never seen women throw themselves at any comic. I worked with Andrew Santino.
Yep.
I've worked with Jay Farrow.
Yep.
Women threw themselves way more at Bert Kreischer than
Yeah.
anybody.
Wow.
And this lady leans in and like kind of she hugs him, and you're amazing, you're funny. And then it was almost like she was gonna try to kiss him, and he like gently put his hand on her face, and he's like I said, I'm married, and it was like
Good for him.
Yeah, it was super awesome. He was like, I don't cheat on my wife, and then he told me, he was like, you here the rest of the night, and I
Yep.
was like, is it because I'm sturdy? He's like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So it's
then
nice
you
to
tried to
see
kiss him.
guys. Yeah, and then I licked the sweat off his back.
Yeah.
Oh.
On that note,
Yeah, on that note,
Let's
eat some
end with
chips.
a good Bert Kreischer back sweat joke.
because here or there.
Why not?
You've been amazing, Brad. Thank you for doing this.
What's the name of this Mexican place again, so we can give him another plug?
Yeah.
Nuestra Mesa, and we didn't talk about that. We've been munching on the chips and salsa and guac, which is one of their best attributes.
This is like a chili burrito that I just took a bite of, and
their chips and salsa and
our
guac is
sound guy Randall
phenomenal.
was trying to get me to hand him, and then texted me and was like, "You bitch." I was like enjoying it. In his face.
Nuestra Mesa.
Yeah.
So definitely
Muy
go
bueno.
check them out. They're in Camas,
Muy mino.
and they have lunch, and they have Sunday like brunch, and they have all kinds of. They have an amazing menu. Very good.
Awesome.
Where can people find you, Brad?
My website at bradwilliamscomedy.com. There's links there to my Twitter at funnybrad and my Instagram at bradwilliamscomic, and my podcast called the About Last Night podcast. A lot of great guests.
So good.
That is a great podcast.
Yeah, the last 2 guests have been Ben Bailey from Cash Cab and the fucking Goo Goo Dolls.
I'm so jealous about Ben Bailey, honestly. I would
So
love
great.
to sit down and talk to Ben Bailey.
He told this amazing story about, you will appreciate this as a religious man. He was on a plane going to New York going from wherever he lived to Los Angeles, and because he just said, screw it, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna try to make movies, I'm gonna be an actor, I'm gonna do this. And he wrote he wrote a check to Continental Airlines, and back when you could write checks, and it bounced, and then they went bankrupt. But then
Because of Ben Bailey.
yeah, because of Ben Bailey. And he didn't tell anyone. He just went to the airport. He had a fight with his girlfriend. He went, screw it, I'm out. And he goes on the plane. And then he's on the plane to fly to LA. And he starts to have an anxiety attack because he's like, oh my God, I'm actually doing this. I don't know what I'm doing when I land. I don't know where I'm going. I know no one. I have like $150 to my name. Like,
that's crazy.
What am I going to do? And he prays to God. And he goes, God, get me off this plane.
Help.
Get me off this plane. Give me an opportunity to get off this plane. And he says, right after that happened, a Japanese man ran towards the cockpit.
I knew I was waiting for it.
And just goes like, we need to stop the plane. We need to stop the plane. And he starts being insane. He starts being manic. And they have to pull the plane over. They have to send all the emergency trucks over there to get turns out he left his wallet in a bar that had a lot of money in it and a few special things, which we don't know what those are. Use your imagination.
A condom.
Exactly. And yeah,
For sure.
so they stopped, and then the pilot was like, all right, we're gonna let this man off the plane. But the pilot literally said, if anyone else wants to get off the plane, now is the time.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is insane.
And Ben Bailey stayed on the plane. He said, you know what? And that just reaffirmed himself
That he was supposed to
out and go and do it. It's an amazing story that I just told. It's
true.
So now you have
Thank
no
you, Brad
reason to go to the
Williams.
podcast.
Thank you, Brad
Brad Williams, storyteller.
Yeah, no, he's really great, and he goes into more detail about that story, but it's a fantastic thing. And yeah, so check out the About Last Night podcast. And once again, my new Netflix special, October 30th. On Netflix, called The Degenerates.
I'm excited.
Me, it's Joey Diaz, it's Big J. Okerson, it's Christina P., it's Yamini Cassandra, it's Liza Traynor, and me.
I have a funny thing.
For the record, Chrissy P is not a dentist either.
Really?
I just want you to know that.
That's weird.
So
Nope, nothing.
a guy that I've been kind of hanging out with, kind of
Thought
dating
you
a little bit,
was.
was at your show the other night, and I didn't know he was going to be there.
Okay.
He was not with a girl.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your first instinct, be like, oh, should I see with a girl? He wasn't. And then I said, hey, I texted him while he were on set because I'm a bad person.
Okay.
And I hadn't seen him in a while. I was like, hey, I'm going to head out. Do you want to come say goodbye to me? And he said, no. Well, he missed the text, and he texted me the next day, and he's like, sorry, wouldn't have left the show anyways. His set was incredibly tight. He, the guy that I've been dating, said no to coming out and saying hi to me because he was watching you on stage. So that's how awesome you are.
Wow.
I'm super.
I'm better than your vagina.
Yeah, I think that's what that meant. So anyway, I'm Amanda Arnold. You can find us on Stand Up Diet on all of the internets, Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to the podcast.
Do it.
Don't forget to send your submissions for the dental giveaway. Full mouth rehab. You gotta suggest somebody. Though.
It's gonna be big, guys.
It's gonna be. What's his big
You
deal?
gotta
Shout out to Dan Cummins.
nominate somebody else. So if you're listening to this and this applies to you, find a friend and have them nominate
Yeah,
you.
because you can get. Okay, I'm sorry, I cannot do it, Brady. I know you hate it too. You got Grady pimp your grill, like
Oh, I like
Dr.
that.
B
No,
Dog.
I do like that.
Pimp those teeth.
Yeah, I'll pimp your grill.
Can they get gold teeth? Can they get silver teeth? Can they get diamond teeth?
We will.
No, just regular teeth.
We'll
It's
do
fine.
whatever you.
No,
whatever
we're not going to give you
need to
gold
do.
teeth. We're going to give you regular teeth.
I can do gold teeth.
Well, then I want gold teeth first. Okay, I'm Amanda Arnold. This is Brady Smith. Brad Williams. Thank you, Randall, our sound guy. Bye.
Good.